Lots of things to go over, such as March's first slate of games for Xbox Game Pass. Welcome back to another video, guys. If you enjoy daily content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So we got March's first slate of Xbox Game Pass game coming over to the service, and there's one big game plus a bunch of other smaller games, but I think there is something here for everybody. Lots of interesting adventures that you're going to be able to go through. So we start off here with the first one, and that is called Far Changing Tides, which is available cloud, console, and PC, and it is available day one on Xbox Game Pass right now. So if you want to go download it and check it out and see what it's all about, you can go do that. But just from taking a look at the description and a gameplay video of it, it really is just like a vehicle adventure game where you're going through a post-apocalyptic world and solving puzzles and upgrading your ship and just trying to get through the adventure. Now, I don't know if myself will jump into this game, but I have to say, by looking at these gameplay trailers of it, the art style and everything is extremely cool. I really like what they're going here with the aesthetic of the game. And maybe I'll jump in and try the gameplay. I'll see what it's all about. But definitely an interesting game. Nothing I've seen before, I don't think. Something different, which, hey, is always good to have on service like Xbox Game Pass, where you're going to play games and try out certain types of genres that you've never tried before. Next up, we have Microsoft Flight Simulator on the cloud. Now, this is a game we know all about. It's been out for a while now. It's one of the most amazing looking games and realistic looking games ever created, and the technology used within Flight Simulator is very cool. So now it's coming over to the cloud, which I think is pretty remarkable, especially with, like I said, how amazing the game looks. It also opens up this game to a lot more people, and it's going to be playable on Xbox One. So if you have an Xbox One, you haven't upgraded yet, but you've wanted to play Flight Simulator, you can now do that. And what else I find is going to be pretty amazing is seeing how this game looks on a cell phone or a tablet and how well it runs via the cloud. Is it going to look just as amazing as it looks on the Xbox Series X? Up next, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, out March 3rd on Game Pass. It's a sequel, I believe, to Final Fantasy 13 2. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, this will be for you. I mean, not much introduction on that. This came out in 2013 previously, or for the first time, so that's cool that that's added to the service. Then we have Kentucky Route Zero, and this is another interesting game. They say here it's a magical realist adventure game about a secret highway running through the caves beneath Kentucky and the mysterious folks who travel it. And looking at some gameplay trailers, because I had never heard of this game before, it pretty much just looks like a narrative driven style game adventure with a lot of text and a lot of choices that will greatly impact the outcome, the story, and just how this game is going to end up, and it'll probably be different for everybody who goes through it. And I could be wrong on that, but that's just the way it looks by watching this video here. Then we have Lawn Mowing Simulator. I mean, you're simulating mowing a lawn. This game has been out for a while, and it is available on Xbox One on March 10th. Now, next game that we have here is the big one for the month, and that is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, available March 10th on cloud, console, and PC. Now, I've played this game. I bought it on Black Friday, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to play it, but I heard a lot of people talking about how amazing the story, narrative, and acting was, and everyone who said that was spot on. It is one of the best, I would say, voice acted, just general characters and stories that I've played in a video game in a very, very long time. It's very story and narrative driven. The gameplay is okay. It's nothing that will blow you away, but if you're looking for a good time, a sit back and kind of relax experience with some gameplay thrown in there and just characters you will fall in love with, I highly recommend Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, we also got information about this game recently that it just didn't sell very well. It underperformed for what Square Enix was expecting from it. And this was absolutely no surprise, because this game was literally 50% off a month after it came out. And now we have it here on Xbox Game Pass, which it's perfect for the service. It will open this game up to more people. More people will see what the game is all about. And hopefully, if more people play it, enjoy it, and then go out and purchase it after experiencing it on Game Pass, we will get a second one. Because I do think this game here deserves a sequel from just how great they did with the overall narrative and characters for Guardians of the Galaxy. And finally, the last game is Young Souls on cloud, console, and PC. It is available day one with Game Pass, and it's available on March 10th. And it is a beat 'em up gameplay with RPG mechanics. And I'm actually very excited for this game after watching the gameplay trailer. Looks like a lot of fun. Honestly, like this, the graphics, the gameplay that they have in there, like they said, the beat 'em up mechanics and the RPG mechanics, right up my alley. I like how there's big bosses and stuff. So this game looks like it will be a game I will want to check out when it gets onto Xbox Game Pass. And that's not all that is important within this update, not just the games. There's actually a really good update coming to Xbox app on PC, and this has to do with the files for your games. You're now going to be able to have the option to choose what folder your games get installed to. You're now going to have access to files for select games you've installed, as well as options to repair and move your games. And finally, the third, and I think the biggest, is you're going to have the ability to apply mods for more games, which is huge because, as we know, with other launchers on PC, you can apply mods to it, and that's a big draw to the PC community. Why you would buy a game on PC over console is you're going to have the ability to mod it. And now with all of these games coming to Xbox Game Pass, or at least more games added to the list, you're going to be able to enable mods, which I think is a great thing for the service. So overall, not a huge list, but I think Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is going to draw a lot of people in, people who are on the fence from playing it. And like I said, if you like a great story, great narrative and characters development, and just hilarious dialogue and the way that the characters work together, I highly recommend checking it out. Okay, jumping over here to a very interesting story, and it has to do with the NVIDIA DLSS source code that has been leaked. So NVIDIA, if you haven't heard, was the victim of a cyber attack over the weekend, which put out a lot of their critical source code for everybody to see how DLSS works. And the actual leak itself, they say here, looks credible, at least credible enough, because there's C++ files, there's headers and assets that make up DLSS, and there's a programming guide document to help developers make sense of the code and build correctly. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. This is very important information, I believe, for NVIDIA that they do not want getting out there, because they are in competition with other companies all the time. I mean, AMD could take a look at this and see how they're doing their DLSS and try to improve on their process for their features within their graphics cards. So this is pretty huge, and we'll have to see what happens, because you know NVIDIA is going to be going hard to try to get this stuff off the internet. I mean, as they should, because they got hacked. So I don't condone any of this stuff, but it's another big leak that we've seen from the tech and the gaming industry. I mean, if you remember the Capcom leak a couple years ago, how big that was. So this is we'll see how this affects the industry. We'll see what happens. We'll see what people take from this information, what they do if other companies take a look at it. And we've also seen stuff from these leaked files that apparently Nintendo had some DLSS on the works, and how that was going to work with the Nintendo Switch. And I'm sure Nintendo isn't very happy about that as well. So we got to talk about some Halo again. I know I talked about it yesterday, but there's a new article here from Windows Central talking about how Halo Infinite fans are frustrated over poor communication and a missing roadmap. So we were supposed to have more information about the upcoming seasons, the roadmap for Halo Infinite, in January. And Joseph Staten came out, talked about how it wasn't ready, so they were going to delay it a bit. And this was a month ago. It's been an entire month and we still haven't heard anything. There has been no communication from 343. And I have to say, it is pretty disappointing from the standpoint that I'm still sitting here waiting for more information on single player stuff and just what they're going to be bringing to the next seasons for the campaign, more content, more areas and stuff like that. We haven't heard anything. And I would say 343 in general has been really good at communicating since the launch of Halo Infinite up until at least now. And just in general, 343 has been very transparent with the community over the years. So maybe they're at home right now, or maybe they're in the office right now working very hard to make sure that this is ready, and that's what they're focusing on, making sure that when they do announce the information is clear, concise, and it gives us a lot of content that we can look forward to. But people are very upset, or at least annoyed and frustrated right now, that there hasn't been any communication on these plans. Now, we know the first season has been pushed all the way until May 2022, so there is still a bit of time here for them to come out and make the announcement of what's to come next. We've had some big YouTubers and people in the community talking about the frustrations. We have YouTuber Hidden Xperia in a recent video saying, "This game has been nothing short of a roller coaster. The launch period of this game has had so many ups and also so many downs, and this game right now, as it stands, is in such a peculiar state. The main issue with this game right now, which encompasses all of what I just talked about and more, is the uncertainty surrounding it, thanks to 343's peculiar silence with the fixes and content additions that we need. Then you had YouTuber MintSplint saying, Halo Infinite moved to a live service game, but I have seen no content to show that it's actually live service. It has gotten so bad that I read your comments every single day, and many people have said they're not playing until Season 2. There are content creators who have put down the game permanently because they just have nothing to show for it. And then you have a lot of people within the subreddit that are saying things like, tired of begging for the bare minimum, tell us what is happening with this game. So there is a lot of frustration amongst the Halo community, and I guess rightfully so at this point. And I'm even surprised that it's taken this long to give us more information on upcoming content, because it's true that there hasn't been much communication recently, and people need to have that consistent feedback of what they can look forward to. I mean, that's what other successful live service games have done, and I think 343 should really be kind of following in those footsteps with Halo Infinite to make sure that this game lasts very long and that it has a very strong community for years and years to come, because there is so much competition out there, and Halo Infinite at its core is an absolutely incredible game, an absolutely incredible shooter with great mechanics. It is a ton of fun. But if you're somebody out there, especially when you're playing multiplayer, you need something new in the Battle Pass all the time, or you at least have to have the information of what to expect. Right now, they're not doing that. So let's have our fingers crossed that they'll be coming out soon. Give us information on multiplayer and give us information on the campaign. And to end things off here, I just wanted to show you a quick article that I saw that I think if you haven't seen yet, you'll probably want to do this, and it's how to claim 2,000 bonus Microsoft points on Xbox in March 2022. As you know, with Microsoft points and rewards, you can get a bunch of free stuff, free months of Game Pass and things like that. It's actually a really awesome program that I don't think enough people talk about, because it's something that sets Xbox apart from the competition, where you just play games, you get points, and then you get free stuff, which is great. So this in March here is all you have to do, and apparently it takes like under 5 minutes to do. You go to the punch card, and all you have to do is complete a Microsoft Bing search on 5 separate days, complete 3 daily sets accessible via Microsoft Bing, earn 3 achievements in Xbox One, Series X, Series S games, complete the Women's History Month punch card, and complete a quiz for up to 50 extra points. So that won't take long at all, maybe more than 5 minutes. After seeing that you have to do it on separate days, it will probably take a little bit longer, but it will not take very long to earn 2,000 points, which can go a long way. I'm stacking up all my points. I'm just kind of waiting to see what I want to spend it on. But I think it's great because it's around $2. But hey, all you're having to do is pretty much play games to get that free $2 and the free 2,000 bonus Microsoft points. That's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all the stuff. What do you think about the Game Pass games this month, so far at least? Which ones are you going to be checking out? Have you played Guardians of the Galaxy? What do you think about the NVIDIA leak with the DLSS information and the Microsoft points? Are you going to claim those? And what are your thoughts on Halo Infinite? I know I've talked about this recently in various videos, but what are your thoughts on the lack of information? Are you still playing Halo Infinite? Are you bored of it? Let me know all that type of stuff. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, you found it entertaining, you found it informative, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.